All right, here we are in a another cheesy replay submitted to us by, I believe, this red Vanguard. Hey, I just met you something something something, also known as Sergeant Duck. Already we're getting some uh, dog on dog action up here, letting us know that our opponent here today is hooboo, not hobo, hooboo100 in the blue Vanguard. So we got a VVV, and there's so far, yeah, I was gonna say so far we don't see a lot of anything going on in either base, although we do get a barracks going down here, and the dog from Hooboo coming in to scout, seeing, probably poking in far enough to see that. Meanwhile, Hooboo's going for the fast command post here to get an expo up. Again, some dog on dog battles. Hopefully not giving us flashbacks to the last patch, which was pretty much all dog on dog battles. And we got one barracks up. And is this a mech bay? Yeah, we have a mech bay here out of, I'm going to call him Sergeant Duck because I don't know what that name is. Hey, I just met you. How I Met Your Mother. And Hooboo is going for Bobs only, which is a really strong strat. I'll tell you why, because Bobs are invincible. So you pretty much can't lose if you got Bobs. The only problem with his strategy is Sergeant Duck's got Bobs too. So you need something to tip the scales. And we got another mech bay coming out. So we're going to get some quick mech units. I'm guessing, yeah, Hedgehog. We got our first Hedgehog coming out. Now again, the dog of Hooboo knows that there's got to be hogs coming. Another hog. Let's see. I don't even know how much hogs cost, so not sure how much money you need to save up to get one of them, but it looks like hogs and hogs on this side. Meanwhile, back home, Hooboo, I was going to say, how do you have no production? There's a barracks right here. Okay. And out of the racks, we got a Lancer. And this dog is now scouted out to see, well, wait a second. Those mech bays I scouted earlier are actually building hedgehogs. But we got a little creeping going on here. I'm not sure if a single hedgehog and a dog can creep this. The dog is just sacrificed to the sliminess. And the hedgehog says, wait a second, I'm out of there. Meanwhile, the blue dog of Hooboo is scooching around. Not sure, probably just ate a cabbage. And is, yeah, going to link up with the Lancer, and we got more dogs. So we have dogs coming out of Hooboo with a single Lancer, which I think has become part of the meta to do some of the tanking, as we see right here. The dogs might get chewed up. Oh, that Lancer running out, allowing the dogs to tank some more. Another dog joining. And of course, once they clear the healing camp, those tanking units do have the opportunity to hang out, although I do know a lot of players don't want to lose the time, but it looks like they're going to tank up. Or heal up, I should say. Meanwhile, the hedgehogs have cleared out the health camp and are now working on the vision camp, but haven't been aggressive yet, other than chasing that initial dog away. And now we got Rex added. So, ooh, and one of the mech bays has been salvaged. Is that what they call it in this game? I can't remember. I think that's what it's called in SE2. Might be the same in this one. In any case, it's been reclaimed for full price back, which is a nice boost. I don't think that is how it works in SC2, but not being a Terran nor Vanguard player, I don't really know the answer to that one. These hogs getting the speed camp now, which just makes them even more speedier. And it looks like hogs coming out of Hooboo as well, meaning there must be some mech bays added back there, and indeed there are. But these hogs are trying to run around the wall and get right up in the back. There's dogs up there to do a little bit of tanking. There's only one hedgehog in the back for Hooboo. And these hogs get up the ramp, and there's hogs and dogs versus hogs and dogs and bobs. Hogs, dogs, hogs, and dobs. The bobs, of course, as I mentioned, were invincible, and once they triggered their invincible ability, Sergeant Duck quite wisely ran away. You don't want to face invincible bobs. And so, where are they headed to? Get another speed camp, why not? If speed is good, why not get double the speed? Even more speed. And of course, it's nice to get some of the income from the creeps. If you watch my channel, you often will know I complain about those creeps over there. They're kind of hard, but once you have a big enough force, they turn to be kind of easy and soft and worth the income, you know. So that was certainly a nice, easy pickup. Now what's going to go on here? There's a buzzsaw, and they're right up there trying to focus it, and there is no repair out of the bobs yet, and that buzzsaw is going to go down. And then we see Sergeant Duck retreating back, and this is a lot of doggy-dog. Not willing to go up the ramp and into the base, which is probably wise. That's how you get cut off. You want to make sure that you keep your force together, although pushing up just to get a little bit of a concave and surround, especially with your melee units, is a great way, as we saw there, to do some damage. And now we're focusing down the mech bay, although, you know, wisely running out. Like I said, you don't want to get kind of caught off there. What do we have added here? Dogs. More dogs added. Okay, so it started out with hedgehogs, but then it just became a lot of dogs. This is an interesting way to play this. This has been a little bit of the meta, but I like the way that it's being played, because instead of opening dogs and then going heavy hedgehogs at the end, eventually only having hedgehogs. Wow, a lot of the hedgehogs of hooboo in the back there getting caught up. This way you try and maintain your hedgehog count by keeping them alive, and just replenish your front line of dogs, which actually are pretty good against your opponent's hedgehogs, as we're seeing. And wow, a lot of dogs. So maybe this is shades of the last patch, as a ton of dogs have been added. And wow, a pretty good micro. Look at how the dogs are being used to zone the other units away from the hedgehogs, which then get free reign. Of course, the invincible bobs have come in and just destroyed the dog line, and now the hedgehogs are now cut off, forced to fight only bobs. And that's a losing battle for sure. Trying to micro, they do kill one bob, proving that a bob can be killed. And these hedgehogs going down, these hedgehogs out of Sergeant Duck are, well, 4 of them are elite status. Not quite champion yet, and we have more on the gates. Trying to break down the gates again, and a few bobs come out to meet them, but that's not enough to scare them away. And the bobs, while still strong, have lost their invincible buff. Of course, I'm just talking about overcharge, and it's probably still on cooldown. And these 5 hedgehogs in the base, they're just chilling out in the base of hooboo, doing damage, killing bobs. And yeah, the bobs are going down left and right now. Dogs coming in. There is a repair turret there, but it's repairing the mech bay. It's now refocused on some of the hedgehogs, and those hedgehogs trying to stay alive. Those bobs added to the mix. The bobs both prevent surface area of the dogs as well as do their repair, of course. And now it looks like it's just bobs. Single dog in there, and more dogs streaming in. The dogs are going down. The bobs slowly but surely, and this kind of damage is hard to recover from. Of course, hooboo does have another base, and Sergeant Duck is still on one base, just streaming in units, but that's a GG out of hooboo.